You know that awful feeling of sitting in a busy airport terminal and hearing an urgent announcement over the PA system, and it just sounds like, Charlie Brown's teacher talking through a tin can?
Oh, yeah, that muffled wah 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 sound. It is just the worst.
Exactly. Well, welcome to today's deep dive, where we are unpacking the exact invisible technology that fixes that problem for you. We actually got our hands on a spec sheet from HDTV Supply.
Right, for the QSC AC-C8T acoustic coverage ceiling loudspeakers, it is, well, it's kind of the ultimate hidden infrastructure. You really don't notice it until you're in a room where it was done completely wrong.
Yeah, that makes total sense. But looking at the $540 price tag for a pair, my immediate thought was, why can't a business just buy a couple of high-end bookshelf speakers? Like, just stick them in the ceiling and save a ton of money.
Well, it's because commercial space is just an entirely different beast from your living room. Think of a standard home speaker like a garden hose.
Okay, a garden hose.
Yeah, it's fantastic for watering one specific flower bed. But if you are trying to maintain an entire golf course, you need an industrial sprinkler system. One that overlaps perfectly.
Right, so you don't miss any spots.
Exactly. And for these QSC speakers, that sprinkler effect is their 100-degree conical coverage.
Oh, so instead of blasting sound straight down at one desk, they sort of project it outward in a wide cone.
Precisely. That physical design actually reduces the total number of speakers an installer even has to buy. You blanket a room evenly without needing, like, a speaker every 3 feet just to avoid dead zones.
Okay, but spreading the sound out doesn't automatically mean I can understand the words being spoken. What is actually happening inside the hardware that makes a voice sound crisp instead of, well, muddy?
Right, so that comes down to the physical alignment of the parts. They use an 8-inch polypropylene woofer to handle the lower frequencies.
Got it, the bass.
Yeah, but mounted directly inside the center of it, coaxially, as they say, is a tiny 0.86-inch silk dome tweeter for the high frequencies.
Wait, right in the middle.
Right in the middle.
Yep.
By putting the tweeter right in the center of the woofer, all the sound frequencies hit your ears at the exact same time. It mathematically prevents the phase cancellation and muddiness that, ruins vocal clarity during AV conferencing or paging.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it vastly outperforms typical background music class products.
Okay, but wait, I'm looking at the power specs here, and these things have 80 watts RMS and can hit a peak of 114 decibels. That is roughly the equivalent of standing next to a revving chainsaw.
Yeah, it is pretty loud.
Why on earth would a corporate conference room or a restaurant ever need a chainsaw's level of volume? That sounds like, a massive waste of money.
Well, you are never going to run them at 114 decibels in a boardroom. It is purely about headroom.
Headroom.
Yeah, having that much power means the speaker never has to strain. So the audio stays perfectly clean and distortion-free, even at low conversational volumes.
Oh, I see.
But power brings a logistical nightmare. If you string 50 home speakers together across a building, the electrical resistance builds up, and the last speaker gets almost no volume.
So how does a commercial system bypass that resistance?
They use a built-in low-saturation multi-tap transformer that lets them run on a standard 70-volt or 100-volt commercial audio line, or even a standard 8-ohm bypass.
Okay, you're going to have to translate that for me.
Sure. So think of a 70-volt line like a high-pressure water main. It lets installers daisy-chain dozens of speakers across a massive building without losing any pressure at the end of the line.
Oh, wow, that's clever.
Yeah, you just tap into the main pipe wherever you need a speaker.
That actually explains why HDTVSupply carries these, considering their massive catalog of, modular matrix switchers for giant sports bars. But if you're tapping into a high-pressure electrical line while balancing on a ladder, isn't wiring these incredibly tedious?
You'd think so, but the engineer solved that with a blind mount assembly and a 4-pole Euroblock connector.
What does that mean for the person on the ladder?
Well, instead of holding a heavy speaker over your head while stripping tiny wires, the installer wires up a simple detachable plug first. You push the assembly into the ceiling cutout, it locks into place blindly behind the drywall, and you just snap the plug in.
Oh, saving hours of expensive labor. That's really smart. And I noticed a small but clever detail here. The white finish on the metal grills has UV inhibitors baked directly into the paint.
Yes, a very nice touch for installers.
So they won't turn that depressing, aged yellow color from the sun or like fluorescent lights after a couple of years.
Exactly. They are built to blend into the architecture and stay invisible for a decade or more.
So, whether you are trying to blanket a massive sports bar with even audio, or you just want to stop the remote workers from sounding muffled in the main conference room, investing in the right invisible infrastructure prevents dead zones. Plus, registering the product gets you a 6-year warranty, which is, great peace of mind.
It really is. And I think the big takeaway for you listening today is this. The next time you are sitting in a restaurant or an office, and the background music or paging announcements sound perfectly balanced.
Just look right up at the ceiling.
Yeah, look up. You are likely listening to a meticulously engineered acoustic system, designed specifically to go completely unnoticed.
It's wild to think about.
It makes you wonder, right? How much of our everyday comfort in the built environment relies entirely on high-end technology we are meant to never even see?